My name is Socrates, world-renowned philosopher and human catalyst for the city-state of Athens in relation to law, mathematics, virtue, and government. My everlasting impacts on the world were my creation of the Socratic method and irony, which I use to find satisfactory resolutions to war and conflicts. These two philosophies are used in both law and classrooms to this day. I also laid down the principal fundamentals of modern Western philosophy. My journey throughout this tournament has proven not only how great of a leader I am, but also how my philosophies have shaped and affected the lives of various other world figures. I stood victorious against arguably two of the greatest civil and human rights leaders of all times, Shukai and Gandhi. These two specifically took my moral ethics and ideas and took their own spin on them. The road was not easy to the championship. Some of my harder opponents were the likes of Caesar Chavez and Augustus of Hippos. One would think that as I advanced, my opponents would become more and more difficult, right? Well, not necessarily. In my opinion, I think I had made my match my easiest opponent, philosopher Karl Marx, the only philosopher who is a surfeit of sophistry, has the words abuse, tyranny, oppression, and malice, and even genocide attached to their name. Firstly, Marx was extremely stubborn. If anyone suggested an idea that stood different from his bogus philosophy, Marxism, he quickly declined. He honestly believed that no other form of government would be successful. Without collaborating with others and at least taking some ideas, Marx's demise was quicker than expected. Although he tries his hardest to put Marxism in a positive light, the negatives are too significant to even think about it being beneficial. It is very vulnerable to corruption since Marxism hands over all means of production to the state, making it so the state has to have regulation to ensure that private citizens and groups aren't conducting any business or production without the government. This means that there has to be strict government control over virtually everything, how you assemble, how you conduct, etc. Freedom within society has always been a necessity for prominence and world superiority, which leads to my next point. The principles and ideas of Karl Marx have influenced the Führer himself, Adolf Hitler. Hitler quotes, "I have learned a great deal from Marxism and I have implemented it into my own form of governance." Marx is not solely responsible for the Nazi Party, but to say he has no impact is incorrect. The greatest leader of all time who inspired the killing of millions, hysterical. Take it from me, one of the smartest men of all time. But I truly do not think someone who cannot manage their own personal finance has the answers to solve the world's financial woes. Marx overall is extremely incompetent with money. He depended on others a lot to support not just him, but his family as well. Marx was so dependent on others that his whole life was full of debt. Even his family and extended family ceased to help him because of his proven ignorance with money. When we think of communism, what do we think? Temporary failure and tyranny come to mind, and we can blame Marx for this. His Marxist principles led to the governance of communism. Communism is an unachievable utopia which led to the deaths of millions and caused multiple wars and revolutions. The ideas within communism and the ideology itself collapses quickly. Most argue his legitimacy of a great leader by focus on his creation of a communist state, yet every single communist state is being replaced with a democratic system. A great leader's ideas have an everlasting impact on the world that never fades away, like my findings about the world, youth, and overall well-being of people. Marx's ideas about governance and total control within the state are slowly slipping away, but my philosophies stay vivid to this day. For these reasons is why I am not only the greatest leader and philosopher of all time, but a much more prominent figure than maybe the most evil and wicked man of all time, Karl Marx.